Alright everybody, welcome to another episode of Psycho's Platters, episode 147, where we're going to go off and I think I'm just going to basically title this one, Oops, He Did It Again. What I mean by that is that I went back to some of the places that I found some of those 45s in episode 145. If you haven't seen that one, even though, yes, I'm sorry, it's a little out of focus, go watch the episode anyway, because there was a bunch of goodies there. Various girl groups, always powered by coffee here, girl groups and Northern Soul. Today, not a smaller amount of records, but bear with me here. I kind of hit the gambit mostly on these ones here. Let's start off with from June 1960 on a pink promo for Decca. You're Too Much for Me, as I released in June of 1960. I have to confess, I tried pulling up info on these guys, but this is an instrumental 45. That much I can tell you. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but I just, I'm not going to pass up, with a name like that, this could be quite interesting. I'm hoping so anyway. The flip side is even stranger too, though, because it says, the flip side is Strangers When We Meet, from the Columbia picture called Strangers When We Meet. But that's the first one we've got right off the bat here from June of 1960. The next one here, on High Records, Jerry J with My Girl Josephine. This one came out in 1967. Jerry J was born in Manila, Arkansas. He formed a band in the late 50s after he got out of the Navy, and from the 50s to the early 60s he was brewing it there. In 1966 he went to record this particular 45, which is a cover of an original Fats Domino song from the 50s. The single had an original press run of 500 copies. Couldn't find out what the original label, the original label was on for the 500 copies, but it was an original label run of 500 copies. So it's getting airplay in Memphis and the surrounding areas, and lo and behold, High Records goes off, signs them up, re-releases it in early 67, okay, because the original press came out in late 66. This thing squeaks into the top 30, and after that, he stayed with High Records till about 1970. In the mid-70s, for about a year and a half, he actually sings lead for the Bill Black combo after Bill Black died. His last album was in 2005, and he also happens to be a member of the Rockabilly Hall of Fame. This tune's jumping. I went and listened to it earlier today. Man, oh man, what a cool tune this is, and rockabilly is the word for it. Alright, the next one up here, from November 1965, on Wand, it is a promo copy. The song One by One. I don't know too much about these guys, except their names are Anita Ray and Diane Hall. They recorded the original version of Groovy Kind of Love. Yeah, these guys did. They also did the One by One song on a black and white episode in late 1965 of the show Chivalry. This one roughly goes for about between 10 and 20 bucks. Very cool, how should I say this, kind of girl groupish sound. I think you'd get a kick out of it if you ever come across that. Alright, next up, from March of 1967, James Phelps, Walking the Floor Over You. This is actually another one that has been deemed Northern Soul by some. The price range I have seen for these things, from 20 bucks to almost 100 in the condition it's in. He was pretty much on the scene, James was, from 1965 to about 72. He originally started out with Argo Records and then recorded for a handful of other labels too. Walking the Floor happens to be a cover song of the original song by Ernest Tubb. So you're talking about Ernest Tubb being country and he went and turned this tune inside out. This is a really good one. I am really surprised how this went. And so, like I said, go listen to all these on YouTube, because there's clips for almost all of these. You will not, you know, some of these are infectious. Okay, you'll find out. So, like I said, from March '67, James Phelps. Next one. This one I thought was a little bit cool and strange. Columbia White Label promo from early 1967. Dana Valerie with You Don't Know Where Your Interest Lies. This song was written by Paul Simon. Dana Valerie was born, let's see if I can get this right here, Fausta Dana Galli from Italy. Paul Simon not only, of course, wrote this tune, but on this particular version, there is a minor vocal that he does in the background for this too. I didn't know about this one, about her here at all. From 62 to 75, she did a bunch of albums. The first one that she did had Al Hirt and Boots Randolph involvement. So, like I said, I liked it. This version is really, really good. The flip side, not so much. But this one here, go check that out. I have once again also seen on a couple sites Northern Soul. I'm not sure if this really is Northern Soul, but maybe it is. The genre here seems to be all-encompassing. But like I said, on a handful of sites, I saw this termed as a Northern Soul. I just see this as a good mid-tempo ladies rocker. Okay, so go check that out too. That one pretty much has been going for 20 to 40 on the market. This one here came from a slightly different source, but when I went off and saw this, not only did I never hear of the song or the person, but it's on AM Records / Vibrations Productions. Jeanette White with No Sunshine from July 1969. Once again, another one that's being called Northern Soul in some aspects. Very cool tune. I actually liked it. She did cut one album for A&M. That's about the best info I can give you. Other than this thing, in the condition, has been going for about $30 to $50 on range. I care more about the sounds than the values of some of this stuff, but I've also discovered that it's kind of cool to know what you're dealing with. So, in case anybody's wondering why I throw out money values sometimes, it's just to give you an idea. Obviously, everything's guides, okay? So it's not to be taken as gospel, but these sounds all are really cool. So the next one that I got to tell you about, put that there for a second. Yes, I research all this stuff. The next three, to me, are the coolest, honestly, okay? On a white label RCA Victor from October '66, AZ Mortimer, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Little Miss Everything. Actually, Little Miss Everything and the flip side here, The Best Years of Our Lives. Both are very cool songs, mid-tempo rockers. This also, once again, a Northern Soul piece in some circles. AZ, I couldn't find very much about her, except that pretty much from 1960 to about 70 is when she pretty much cut a bunch of 45s. That first one that she did in 60 on Big Top seems to be the one that really is the one that gets them. That's the money maker, so to speak. I like her voice. If I ever find any more stuff from her, I will gladly go off and get it. But like I said, some of the labels, Epic, United Artists, Big Top, bunch of other. I think she cut it out for Bethlehem. But really, really nice. This one here is pretty much going for 20 to 50 in the condition that I found it in. Most of these records I would probably deem VG minus or plus. I'm sorry, I have to really get closer into looking at them, but at least VG. They're not completely beat up. This next one here has got a strange little story to it. Another RCA Victor white label promo from February 1967, Tony Mason's Take Good Care. Don't know too much about him. He was born in Detroit. He had about one other 45 that was released a couple months prior to this 45 in late 66. This one didn't chart. The other one got into the bubbling under thing. This particular song here, Take Good Care, is about Vietnam. Kind of an interesting one. Go listen to that one on YouTube for sure if you don't have it, because you'll be like, huh? It's another mid-tempo piece with Gene Carter sings background vocals on it, and it's got an interesting arrangement. This thing, though, like I said, when this came out in '67, didn't do anything. Somehow, though, yes, I'm throwing the Northern Soul word again, but that's because I discovered that, according to, let's see, a couple sources and the YouTube clip that I saw, in the mid-'80s, this thing got rediscovered in some of the major clubs that in England that played this kind of music, and it got a mini revival. Since then, I'm led to believe, what is it, Kent? I think Kent CD Company has put out some of the Tony Mason stuff. They found some unreleased in the vault, which is really, really cool. I like this tune. I actually like both the songs, but this is the one I like the most. And lastly, yes, it's another. Oh, and by the way, that Tony Mason one, that one has gone in a range of about 70 to 100. Honestly, for the condition that that's in, I was very surprised about that. I don't know if it's because of the rediscovering from the '80s in the club scene. I have no clue. This next one here, and the final one I have, Kenny Carter, Don't Go, from October '66. Another one, another Northern Soul piece. Kenny, I figured out, I couldn't find out too much information on him, but he started in 1961 on United Artists, but he ended in '72 on Atlantic. Bunch of different stuff here. I've heard some other sound clips, but you know, how can you say goodbye is I think honestly slightly better than Don't Go, but Don't Go was the one that was getting peddled out. This one I've seen in range from $35 to $100 from late 1966. There was a lot more records at these places, and the condition on them were just deplorable. Honestly, I saved what I could out of what I found, and I think I did good. Honestly, I love the sounds of like 90% of what I got here today. I'm very, very happy about that. That's the main thing, right? First, why we collect vinyls, for the enjoyment mostly. So listen, I got one new sub since yesterday's broadcast, Blade 91100. Thank you for coming on board to the Psycho's Platters channel. And you know what? And I'm happy to have everybody here. This close to 300 subs, guys. That close. And I thank everyone so far that has subscribed to the channel. You know, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies about Psycho's Platters. There may be, I'm not going to open this can of worms yet, there may be some really good news coming up by the end of this year about Mighty Psycho. I'm not going to tell you until it's officially, if it's signed, sealed, delivered. Yeah, alright, I took liberties with Stevie. So anyways, guys, Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark and Night Owl Lounge, 6 to 9 p.m. Central Standard for Wax, 9 to 10 for Night Owl. Two of the best damn Sunday night radio shows ever. Also, though, I'm glad Carl and Dana are back for This Is Rock and Roll Radio, 8 to 11 Central Standard, okay? So, 6 to 9, Wax, 9 to 10, Mike, 8 to 11 for This Is Rock and Roll Radio. westcottradio.org for that last one. Monday night, Mike Boley remembers Alan Freed. 7 to 10 p, I think, for Central Standard. Freak Beat with Ken Worth, 107.5 The Spy out of Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. That's 8 to 9 p.m. Central Standard. Excellent show. I heard a little bit of it just today, actually. I enjoyed it. Thrifty Music Collectors Group, Tim Smith and Company, always. Go check out and subscribe to the Vinyl Grotto. I just got done. That's Doug Field's new YouTube channel, my buddy. He just got done with his 7th episode. Really, really good on that kind of stuff, too. And even name checks Ronnie and his Wax show. Let's see. Shindig, the best damn English rock magazine, period. And lastly, the YouTube vinyl community. Without the YouTube vinyl community, none of us would be here in the VC. As always, we thank you for that. So guess what, guys? I love you all. You know that. I've seen a lot of your channels. I've subscribed to a lot more new channels. The VC's growing, guys, and I'm happy about that, and I hope it continues to do it too. So until next episode, take care, God bless, rock on, and see you next show.